One song can change a moment. One idea can change a world. One step can start a journey, but one prayer can change the impossible. With full faith towards God, let us all rise for the silent prayer. Thank you. Excellence is not being the best. It is doing its best. With this quote, now I invite Dr. V. Sivakami, Assistant Professor, SRM IST, to welcome the gathering.
Yeah, thank you, Rishmita. To improve the golden moment of opportunity and catch the good that is in our reach is the greatest art of life. Good morning to one and all for today's webinar on personal finance, support and wealth creation for startups, a roadmap. On behalf of our college, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram, Chennai, I take immense pride in welcoming each and every one of you to this learned gathering. Personal finance, wealth creation, startups are the buzzwords nowadays. Due to the supply gap in job opportunities, entrepreneurship has now become the need of the hour. Yes, the ongoing and continuing coronavirus, Omicron pandemic, and the subsequent lockdowns have widened this demand and supply in the world. And the gap can be filled only with technical expertise and soft skills. This demand has been making educational institutions a hotbed for developing and nurturing entrepreneurship among their students who want to build a self-dependent, sustainable lifestyle for the new normal world. So entrepreneurship and startups started as a major lifestyle choice in the colleges, it has now become need to have safe space for students to test their ideas and fail safely and to try again and again. Personal finance and wealth creation should go hand in hand for all of us in all walks of life. So, thus having set the tone for today's webinar, I am as much eagerly waiting to listen to today's speakers. To give you to that input, today we have with us Sri Withdrawal, AGM, Securities and Exchange Board of India, and the chief guest of the day, Sri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant AMFI, former DGM, SEBI. Hearty welcome both of you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's our pleasure, sir. I feel delighted to welcome our captain of the ship, Dr. A. Arulmoli, Professor and Head MBA, who is the backbone of SRM College of Management. He is a great leader and they are driving us with full vigor. Hearty welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir. My hearty welcome goes to all the participants from India and abroad. My dear participants, I'm delighted to say that we have totally around 12,400 registrations so far, and still it is going on. Thank you for your participations and support. Very warm welcome to all the participants who have joined us today through YouTube link also. It's on a live stream now. It's my pleasure to welcome the teaching fraternity of various institutions and my dear colleagues and students. Warm welcome to all. A small request from our side, requesting everyone to switch on your video for a photo session, please. One more session, please. One more shot. Thank you. Over to Harishmita.
A good leader is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way of others. Now I invite one such leader, Dr. R. Arulmoli, our beloved HOD MBA SRM IST, to
Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Sri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI. Guest Speaker of the Day, Viral Parade, AGM, SEBI. My friend Sabir Ahmed, teaching fraternity from all over the across the nations as well as colleges, and students fraternity from various colleges across the globe. We received lots of participations from other nations also. On behalf of College of Management, SRM IST, I welcome you all to this August gathering. And this seminar or this webinar is about a personal finance and wealth creation on so many aspects from the entrepreneurship point of view. So one such personal finance wealth creation could be through mutual funds. So I try to touch upon a small 2 minutes for this mutual fund, which may give wealth creation to the investors as such. So basically, this on everyone wants to go into this investing side. So we see the stocks are booming up every day. We see stocks going up and down, and it is our part to take ourselves into that advantage of moving up as well as when they are coming down. So not all investors are well informed in these lines to where to invest or where to invest and at what time to invest. So one such area or one such field where the investors can put themselves effort is through investing in mutual funds. So what these investors in mutual funds they do, they based on the interest of the investors as per the risk appetite, they try to collect money from the investors and they invest in the various stocks and other related instruments according to the risk appetite of the investors. So basically, if any investor who wants to invest in the stock market, he needs to be well informed in say fundamental analysis as well as technical analysis. Not everyone in the country or not every investors will be aware of this analysis. So here in this side, this mutual fund houses comes into picture, which bridges the gap between the investors as well as the stocks. Okay. So at this juncture, each common individual who is not aware of the stock market operation can also be part of the stock market operations through with the help of these mutual funds. So starting from any age group, from the novices to the up to the retired citizens, you can enter into this mutual fund and start reaping the benefits out of it. So today's webinars will provide various other avenues for the entrepreneurships and the startups also. As far as wealth creation is concerned, so slow and steady, this mutual fund will be providing you an assisted and ample opportunities for the small as well as big investors to enter into the market with a small little knowledge or else with a highly researched knowledge also. So with this small note, I hope this today's session will be helpful for all the people who are participating in. There will be a lot of takeaways, and I wish today's program a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, good morning. So today I'm going to talk about so Sri Viral Parak is AGM at Securities and Exchange Board of India, an engineer from prestigious VJTI. Sri Parak completed his MBA from Siddhanam College in Mumbai and joined SCBI in 2011. In his initial years, SCBI, Sri Parak worked in MIRSD department handling policies, registration, inspection and complaints related to brokers. Since 2017, he is in the investment management department as a key member of the mutual funds inspection.
Thank you, Apavesh.
Okay, thanks a lot, sir, for the warm introduction. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Great. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Suryakant, sir. It's been quite a while that we have interacted.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty members and the students of SRM University, it gives us immense pleasure to speak in front of you all, especially during this pandemic times. I hope the pandemic is now as good as over. The offices and all have now been resumed. At least in Mumbai, yes, we are working at full strength. Basically, this seminar is that is SEBI as a regulator, along with AMFI, is about to create awareness about different investment avenues and address your basic queries in case if you have any with respect to the investments in stock market or mutual funds and whom to approach for investments. However, let us make very clear that we are not endorsing any product or investment strategy. The basic idea is only to create awareness program and to reach out to registered intermediaries. Take well-informed decision before investing. Transparency is a very big factor that plays in this market. Now, in SEBI, I'm working for the past 10 years. As per the preamble of SEBI Act, we are assigned with mainly the responsibilities to protect the interest of investors in securities. Secondly, to promote the development and to regulate the securities market in the same order. So it is our duty to ensure smooth and systemic functioning of the securities market. In fact, as you would be aware, even during this lockdown period, securities market was open. So that shows that it is the backbone of the Indian economy. Now, with respect to mutual funds, brief fact to start with, as you would be aware, the campaigns of mutual funds and all those things, because of the mass advertisements, the assets under management of the entire industry has almost touched now 38 lakh crores, which was around 20 lakh crores in 2019. So it's more than a 75% increase in the past just 3 years, that too, despite having a lockdown. That shows the potential that it has in this industry and finally the Indian economy, the Indian economy market. So with respect to mutual funds, the mutual funds are investment vehicles wherein all categories of investors can participate, which sir has already said, be it corporates, be it individuals or retail investors. The main benefit of investing in mutual funds, it gives the benefit of diversification. And the investment decisions are taken by the experts of that field, wherever you invest in. So there are various ways in which investors can invest. That is either through a direct route in which there is no broker in between, or it is through a regular plan in which a broker or a distributor has a major role to play. They will help you kind of hand-holding or guidance for investing in mutual funds. Investments through direct plan has many advantages because they have lower transaction cost, lower instances of mis-selling. Now, as savings of small investors is invested in mutual funds, SEBI is always alert and ensures good transparency, appropriate risk mitigation measures, and fair valuation of portfolio in the mutual fund industry. In fact, it is one of those industry which completely discloses its portfolio on the 30th day of every month. Basically disclosed on the 10th day, but the portfolio is as of 30th day of the previous month. So it's a complete transparent industry. The only thing is, as a investor, it is our duty also to look into where the schemes are investing in. The mutual funds buy and sell at daily NAV declared by the mutual fund schemes. It is ensured that transparency is maintained in the mutual fund industry by many things. It is not only with respect to monthly disclosure, but even daily disclosure of NAVs, disclosure of financials of mutual fund schemes. Recently, in fact, in the past 2 months, SEBI has also made publishing investor charter compulsory at all the website of the mutual funds, including the do's and don'ts and the complaints how on where to register at and how to deal with it. In order to facilitate awareness of investors about various activities, SEBI has prepared an investor charter for mutual funds. Now, in fact, in the last month, or I think in January, SEBI has also launched an Sarthi app, which is again giving brief awareness about the entire securities market, which also includes mutual funds, the basic concepts. So in other ways, we are trying and promoting to ensure that investor awareness is at its peak so that the frauds or the mis-selling don't happen, and at least investors are aware before taking an informed decision. So now, with respect to just a few things which so basically with respect to few things which I would like to emphasize on, is in mutual funds, we have a concept of product labeling, as in the riskometer indicates different types of risk a scheme will, a scheme can take upon. So that has also been recently amended. That is updated every monthly. Secondly, the advertisements which are issued by mutual funds are also governed by SEBI. In fact, there's a separate chapter in the mutual fund regulations which covers this advertisement code. In fact, that's also one of the reasons that you won't see generally any celebrity endorsing any specific scheme. It is only at the AMFI level that only for awareness programs that we have used that thing. Otherwise, for endorsing any kind of schemes, we are not allowed. So this is the level that SEBI has gone into. So accordingly, because these are small investors and it is deemed that the transparency should be at its highest. So it is a responsibility of the investor like you and me to access the information and take informed decision on the investments. So the main thing is we should be completely aware and not unaware on how the schemes are running. So that is why the transparency should be there. Governance is a second chapter in which SEBI has always emphasized on. This seminar is again to create that awareness program only. And thus by creating such awareness programs, I hope that you all students or the faculty members and in turn whosoever is listening online would have at least some kind of knowledge specifically about mutual funds, at least the basic concepts, the basic idea. Secondly, with respect to the complaints handling system, would like to tell you that say in SEBI we have a website that is SCORES course.gov.in, which handles investor complaints. It is ideally that you should first approach an intermediary, and then if the complaint is not resolved, then approach SEBI. It's a completely online redressal mechanism in which you can directly lodge a complaint by going onto the website, filling in the fields, and your complaint will be resolved at the earliest. You would also get SMS and the emails for the same. So it's something like SIMS. And this was developed around 2012. So it's already 9-10 years that SEBI has developed this online system for complaints handling mechanism. While academic qualifications are important, so is financial education. It is said that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. When it comes to investing, nothing more than educating yourself. Do the necessary research, study, and analysis before making any investment decision. Financial awareness is a must to safeguard investors from frauds in the market. People who are financially literate are less susceptible to the lure of the schemes promising assured high returns in short period of time. I urge you to always exercise caution while investing and choose the right intermediary and the right products to invest in. One more point I would like to tell you is that in fact, on SEBI website, you would also get the list of all the registered intermediaries, be it brokers, be it mutual funds, be it exchanges. So to take a note of it before starting any kind of investments in the securities market. Lastly, I would just like to finally conclude that you can also download this Sarthi app, which will give you basic understanding of the secondary market, the mutual funds, the trading and settlement mechanism in the secondary market, and also the grievance redressal mechanism. Thanks a lot for hearing me out. If there are any queries, would definitely like to address it, specifically with mutual funds. I think the brief on mutual funds completely would be dealt by Suryakant sir. That's it. Thanks a lot from my side. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Parekh. Thank you very much. My dear participants, if you got any question from the perspective of mutual fund regulation by SEBI or any related question, you just raise your hand. As Mr. Parekh has got some other meeting, he will leave after answering the questions, if there is any. So if anybody has question, just raise their hand.
Participants, You can raise your hand so that you can unmute you, or else you can just put it in the chat box so that we can address that.
By the way, kudos to the institution also. We have around what 347 participants. Great.
And the registration has been more than 1,000.
Great, great, great.
The registration is 1,300 registration for this webinar. Sir.
1,300. Great, great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Thank you, ma'am. It is because of your efforts only.
Yes, sir. Definitely, it's with AMFI's collaboration. Actually, we have just spread wings.
Thank you.
Sir.
Okay, Mr. Parekh, I think there are no questions. So thank you very much for joining this program. Thank you very much.
In case if you have any, then obviously my number is there. Do reach out.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks. Sir. Bye.
Thank
God
you,
bless
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Over to Harishmita.
Thank you, Viral sir, for your illuminating words. Now I invite Mr. Sai Amrit, first MBA, to introduce our guest of the Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, AMFI, former DGM.
Hello, good morning to one and all present here. Suryakant Sharma is a commerce graduate and master's in law, with specialization in corporate laws. He is also a chartered associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Shri Sharma has over 35 years of experience in banking and finance and securities market and has served in a leading financial institution. Thereafter, in a Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance and Government of India, and finally in SEBI. Shri Sharma has joined the Securities and Exchange of Board of India in 2003 and served there for more than 15 years and served in different departments of SEBI. Lastly, in addition to the assignments, he was DGM in charge of Office of Investor Awareness and Education in SEBI's Northern region for more than 5 years. Shri Sharma is also a member of working group of NCRT for developing occasional course on mutual funds for students of 11th and 12th classes. Shri Sharma also mentor a few NGOs working for financial literacy and investor awareness in the country. Under his supervision, more than 15,000 financial literacy and investor awareness programs were conducted across North India, and he himself has addressed as guest speaker in more than 600 IAPs. After a superannuation from SEBI in 2019, he has joined in the Association of Mutual in India, an apex body of mutual fund in India, as senior consultant in North India. Thank you, sir, for joining. Please enrich us with your knowledge and experience, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Amrit, for my introduction. Thank you very much, HOD of the HOD of the department, and Dr. V. Shivakami ma'am. Thank you very much for your continuous and constant efforts for this success of this program. Thank you, Harishmita, for taking for the role of moderator in this program. Just wait for a minute.
Thank you, sir.
I am thankful to all of you for giving me opportunity to interact with you. Dr. Shivakami ma'am, I would be rather more than happy to make this an interactive session. I don't want it to be a one-way traffic. So I will keep involving all of you during my session.
We are eagerly waiting, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 2-3 things I wish to request or rather mention about this program. But before that, Shivakami ma'am, I would request at least 4 or 5 organizing team members kindly keep their videos on, so that I can feel that I am connecting to someone. If all videos are off, sometime a feeling traps into whom we are talking to. So kindly at least 4 or 5 videos are on. I would be grateful. Thank you very much.
We do experience in our online classes, sir.
Thank you very much. This program is from Association of Mutual Fund India. But ma'am, it is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual fund. I want to make it very clear. It is purely an investor awareness program under the mandate of SEBI and Government of India. The purpose of this program is to just sensitize investors. And ma'am, you will agree with me, there are 2 categories of investors. One category you belong to, means who are already earning. But the other category of investors who are not yet earning, but are going to earn very soon, down the line in 1 or 2 years. You are students. So I will try to make my effort that the session is useful and interesting for both of you. Thirdly, since this program is from the participants, I will request young participants, particularly those who are students, kindly have a pen and paper or some notebook with them. And if they find anything new idea or new information in my session, they please note it down. Because I wouldn't be having time, ma'am, to cover each and every topic in detail. But they can note it down that topic and they can explore through Google and websites. Ma'am, you know it very well. Now everything is flooded. We are flooded with information on Google and website. Every information is otherwise available. But these programs just to sensitize them, just to encourage them to go deeper into the subject. Lastly, I would be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants, because that will be a reflection that the session has been you found useful or interesting and interactive. The topic today ma'am has given is twofold. One is startup and other is personal finance. I will take first 5-7 minutes with regard to startup. Ma'am, I am not aware whether you have already set up a incubation center in your university, because now most of the institutions and universities do have their incubation center, where budding entrepreneurs are encouraged to take interest in starting enterprise or startup, whatever you call it. And we all know that job has got its own limitation. Startup or enterprise will give you freedom to fly in the sky. You can work hard and then you can touch the sky. That is the beauty of a startup and an enterprise. And I will urge your students, ma'am, that they should think of starting their own setup. Maybe a small one. Maybe at the beginning it might be at a very small level. But thinking in that direction will pay for your prosperity in the future. And top of it, it will give you satisfaction. Because ma'am, you and me had been you are in service, I was in service. We know the limitation of service. Of course, we know the comfort of service as well, but we know the limitation of service. So if you want to fly, my dear participants, my dear students, you should think beyond service. Of course, some of you might join service at the initial stage. That is again not a bad idea, but then always keep thinking that you have to do something extra, something beyond normal things. And that is the way you can start a startup. And for that, first I request, ma'am, I think you have some incubation center. And then, ma'am, through that incubation center, you keep inviting the professionals who are engaged in setting up and financing startups. Venture capitalists are there.
Sorry to interrupt. The incubation center is mostly it has been for the engineering departments. So as such, from commerce and management, so we haven't just gone in for that. But we do have entrepreneurial cell, development cell is
it is one and same thing. Name may be different one. Name may be different one. Only thing is to encourage students to think in that direction as well. So, of course, you have done a very good thing starting an entrepreneur center there. You keep inviting venture capitalists. You keep inviting Government of India industry and promotional department officials. You keep inviting a lot of government undertakings have now started set up their fund for a startup, particularly ONGC. Other big corporates have also set up, and even now industrialists have earmarked their personal finance, some of their personal finance for giving help to the budding entrepreneurs. So the avenues are immense now. Only thing is to have an idea. That is most important. So kindly encourage your students to have an idea to start something new which has not been done. Because conventional, the time is not totally for unconventional things, ma'am. Disruption, we call it disruption also. Whatever is on, we have to disrupt it. That is why we can come out of it. That is why we can make something out of it. So kindly encourage your students to think differently. Whatever is today, it has to be changed. That is basically disruption. And the purpose of your enterprise, I feel personally, should be to serve the people, serve the citizens. the purpose of your enterprises is to make the life of the citizens more comfortable. That should be the crux of your innovation. That should be the crux of your thinking. So kindly keep thinking on different lines, be disruptive, be a part of the new game. And I think you will feel satisfied that you have done something extra. So I will again thank you, ma'am, for taking the initiative of starting entrepreneurial health in your institutions. Kindly keep encouraging, keep inviting people who are specialized in giving financial support to the startups. Now NABARD has also got a scheme. Lot of governmental agencies have also started schemes for financing startups at the initial stage. And of course, at the bigger level, venture capitalists are there. Then SEBI has of late has been facilitating IPOs of startup, ma'am, which was not thinkable before 2 or 3 years back. So that facility now also a lot of new startups you might have been reading in the newspapers have gone to the public, have collected huge crores of rupees from the public, and public has shown faith in them. Even today they are not making profit. You see the perplexed situation. Generally people put the money in the enterprises or businesses which are profitable, very honestly speaking. But nowadays people are putting their money into the products or into the enterprises or some startup which are loss making but have got potential to be profit making in near future. So kindly encourage your students to go deeper into the subject, grasp the subject, have an idea and crystallize their idea into an enterprise. And I wish all the best to all your students for starting an enterprise. Thank you very much. This is the first segment I wanted to cover.
Thank you, sir.
Now, the second aspect, ma'am, is regarding personal finance, financial empowerment for personal finance. And I will try to make my session, ma'am, as simple as I can. I will not make it a technical session so that I can touch majority of the participants. And what is personal finance and what is financial empowerment, my dear friends? To my mind, financial empowerment, ma'am, simply means that I should have money when I need it. That is basically broadly speaking, the contour of financial empowerment. And financial empowerment can better be achieved through better management of our personal finance. Because personal finance is the money which we have, personal finance is the money which we will earn, all these things. And personal finance, ma'am, has got two components. You will agree with me. First component, if you are in service, that the first component will be saving, which you save out of your income. And the second component of personal finance, which I feel is more important for your students to know, is how my money should make money for me. That is more important, that how my money should make money for me. Because not typically speaking, ma'am, we service class people have a typical mentality. Whatever I am earning is good. I will try to excel myself in earning more through service. Most of the middle class, salary class person don't give due importance to the second aspect, which is that my money should also money for me. So kindly, I will encourage all your students to think beyond the conventional lines of earning job, getting salary, saving, and then putting saving into investments. That is there. It is a requirement. If you are in service, you have to save. That is a different story. But then you should equally be sensitive that your money should also earn money for you. But ma'am, can you just tell me what are the two main purposes of money in our life? I feel, okay, I will not waste much of your time, but I feel money serves two basic purposes in our life. The first purpose is your security. Money gives us security. And second purpose is money gives us prosperity. Prosperity includes everything. Taking care of my regular expenses, living good life, living comfortable life, living luxury life, everything including prosperity. So money gives us security and money also gives us prosperity. But ma'am, you might be aware that money gives us security only when we have plenty of money. Only when security, we will feel secured only when we have plenty of money. With God grace, ma'am will have 100 crore rupees in her bank account after 5-10 years down the line. Then she might feel secure. Okay, no problem, Baba. I have got 100 crore in my bank account. I now feel secured. If anything happens to my family or myself, the money will take care of that. But ma'am, you are smiling. You know it very well that most of us, particularly service class people, wouldn't be having 100 crore rupees in our bank account. It is a fact of our life. So how we can feel secure? My dear students, I am giving you a very, very basic thing about the money. How then we feel secure? Because security comes first for a human being, ma'am. You will agree that we first think of security. Then we go for the prosperity. How then security comes? Yes, we can develop security for myself and our family by doing 3 things in our life at the early stage itself. And this is more imperative for your students, ma'am. If they wish to note it down, they should note it down. These 3 things they should do at the initial years of their career. Maybe in service, maybe in profession, maybe in an enterprise, entrepreneur, whatever they may be. The first thing is, every earning person must have adequate life insurance cover. We have to ensure, I want to make it very clear, that every individual who is earning must have adequate life insurance cover. Ma'am, naturally, your students might ask us, what is the purpose of having life insurance cover in our life? Ma'am, we all know that life is pretty uncertain. I'm talking to today, we are in a position to see each other, of course, through this platform only. But am I sure, am I 100% sure about tomorrow? No, we are not. That is why life is pretty uncertain. Things going very well. But tomorrow, what will happen, I don't know. And that fear of uncertainty always remain in our mind, most of our mind. What will happen? If something happens to me, what will happen to my family? How my family will survive? How their monthly expenses will be taken care of? How the education of children will be taken care of, which is going on very smoothly today. And a lot of other family obligations, how they will take care of. So all these things, I feel, are paramount in our thinking when we earn. And more so, ma'am, when I am the single earner in the family. Because I am the person only who is earner. And my family is totally dependent upon my income or my salary. And if I am not there with them tomorrow because of death or permanent disability, or I am not able to earn the money, what will happen to my family? How they will take care of their monthly expenses? For that purpose, earning member must have adequate life insurance cover. So life insurance cover will give a confidence and assurance that in case something happens to me, at least my family will not have financial problem, because they will get huge amount or reasonable amount through life insurance cover, on which they can survive, not only take care of their regular expenses, but also go for the normal education of the children and other family obligations. And ma'am, life insurance cover has to be adequate. Normally, I don't know whether Shivakami ma'am has also taken life insurance cover, but we normally take life insurance cover as a total life insurance cover only, 50 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 20 lakhs. That is not going to serve the purpose for which we take life insurance cover. Kindly mind it. My dear students, it has to be adequate. And what is the definition of adequacy, Shivakami ma'am? Simply speaking, it should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Minimum. Suppose Shivakami ma'am is earning more than 25 lakhs a year. Then ideally speaking, she should have life insurance cover of not less than 2.5 crore. And I don't think Shivakami ma'am has taken that level of life insurance cover. I know, most of us have not taken it, but nowadays, ma'am, earlier it was not possible, but nowadays it is possible, ma'am. because nowadays a very new or genuine insurance product is available in the market, particularly for students, young people. That product name is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. It is a true insurance product where we can have adequate life insurance cover by paying a very small amount every month. And just for example, if a person is the age of 25 to 30 years, ma'am, he or she can have life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees by paying a monthly premium of hardly 500 or 600 rupees, which anybody can afford. So I will request all the participants kindly explore term insurance for taking life insurance cover. And here again, early you take, lesser will be the premium, because the premium of the life insurance cover is related to your age. So kindly don't keep it deferring. And nowadays, ma'am, a top-up facility is also available in insurance cover, which was not available in our times. Top-up simply means today you may take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees. Down the line, after 5 years, you feel that it has become inadequate because of increase in income and the social structure. Then you can top it up from 1 crore to 2 crore rupees to 3 crore or 5 crore rupees. That facility is now available, which was not available all time. So first, kindly take adequate life insurance cover. This is the first request I want to make to all the participants. And that is related to your security only, my dear participant. I am not talking a single word about prosperity. That I will cover afterwards. I will completing that aspect of security. Second thing which we all should do at the early stage of our earning life is every family must have adequate health insurance cover. Shivakami ma'am, health insurance cover is different and life insurance cover is different. Generally, people get confused. Why I have taken life insurance cover, why I should take health insurance cover? No, my dear friends. Both are different product and serves different purposes. Health insurance, life insurance cover, we take that in case of my death, my family will get a reasonable amount. In health insurance cover, Shivakami ma'am, we take that in case of medical emergency, which on me, because of some accident or some illness discovered all of a sudden, where I will go, ma'am? I will definitely be forced to go to the private hospital, unfortunately, because the governmental health setup is not up to mark in our country as yet, which otherwise it should be, but it is not. So where we will go? We will be forced to go to the private hospital. But in private hospital, ma'am, you know it very well that they charge exorbitant. If a person remains there for even for 10 days, 15 days, they might raise a bill of more than 10 lakhs. From where that money will come? So if you have taken health insurance cover of that level, all your medical expenses or all expenses of the best hospital will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. You will not be required to pay anything. Simply go to the best hospital, take the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. That is the purpose of having health insurance cover in our life. And nowadays, my dear participant, a very good health insurance product is available in the market, which was not available, Shivakami ma'am, at least in my time. But now it is available. That product name is called Floater Health Insurance Cover, FLOATER, Floater Health Insurance Cover. It is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. In this health insurance cover, ma'am, I have the leverage not only to include my name, which I will definitely include. I can include the name of my spouse, my husband or wife. I can also include the name of my children, my kids. And I can even include names of my parents or even in-laws. So in one singular health insurance cover policy, all members of the family are covered. And this health insurance policy will keep floating from one member to other. And if any emergency happens, with any medical emergency happens, with any member of the family, they can go to the hospital, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. So it is a unique proposition of having one policy and coverage of all members of the family. So kindly do consider taking floater health insurance cover for the whole family. And again, it has to be adequate. Again, the definition of adequacy here is that if you are in metro cities, Shivakami ma'am, then ideally you should take health insurance cover of not less than 25 to 30 lakhs for your family. But if you are in 2-tier or 3-tier cities, then the health insurance cover of around 15 lakhs might suffice for the present. So kindly do like health insurance cover for your family. And here again, early you take, lesser will be the premium because it is related to your age. Third thing about security I want to take, Shivakami ma'am, you are all aware that this pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons. It has changed your life as such. But the most important thing pandemic has taught us, ma'am, all of us, is that every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs with them all the time. Shivakami ma'am, you are very lucky. Your job continued even during pandemic. You might have got regular salary from your institutions, but at the same time, you are aware that lakhs of people had lost their job. Businesses were closed, professions were closed. People were not getting any regular income from their employer or from their business or profession. They have passed through a very, very tough time. Very tough time. And again, ma'am, this corona has not yet gone. It is still there. Newer viruses may coming in every other day we see in the newspaper, or a new disease may come in after some time. That is, things have become so uncertain now. So I am requesting all participants kindly think of developing an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. What serve it will serve, Shivakami ma'am? It will serve the purpose that in case in future you get some temporary jolt in your job, you don't get salary for 5 months or 6 months for temporary period, or your business doesn't work, or your profession has got no income, at least you are able to manage your family expenses for around 1 year. That is the purpose of developing an emergency fund. But again, 5 to 7 lakh is not a small amount for all of us, but over a period of time, we can develop it in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. But once it is in place, Shivakami ma'am, we have to make a promise with ourselves that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except emergencies, which might happen in our life. Because Shivakami ma'am, when we have this 5-7 lakhs rupees in our hand, temptation will always be there, go on vacation. Temptation will always be there to go for some celebration. But we have to overcome that temptation. We should be very clear that this fund is meant only for the specific purpose of emergency. So third request I want to make all the participants, kindly develop an emergency fund of 5 to 7 lakhs. 3 things I again repeat, ma'am. Adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and then adequate emergency fund of around 5 to. These 3 things will afford you security. It is not related to your prosperity, my dear participants. It is not related to your prosperity, but again, I feel first we should look at the security aspect, only then we should think of prosperity. So once you have developed, now definitely, and now I am going to cover that topic, prosperity, how we can be prosper. And for that, I just ask a very simple question to ma'am, because I can see ma'am only. That's why I'm taking again your name, ma'am. Sorry, don't take it otherwise.
No issues, sir.
You tell me what is the main source of money for all of us, particularly service class people. What is the main source of money? Salary.
Salary, sir.
Salary which we get from our employee. In your case, from your institution, and wherever people are serving, salary is the main source of income for the middle class, salary class person. And what we do with the salary, ma'am? A majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly regular expenses. Majority of it. But we Indians have a typical habit, ma'am. You are well aware of it. That habit is every Indian, may he be or she be earning 10,000 or 10 crores. Every Indian sincerely try to save as much as they can. Even a person who is earning 10,000 a month will seriously try to take away 500, 700 rupees out of their income, which he would not like to spend. Otherwise, we have a lot of temptation to spend all the money which we earn. But everybody will try to take away some money out of their regular income. And the money which we don't spend out of regular income, my dear participants, We call it savings. We call it savings. Very simple thing I am telling you. We call it savings, and we are all savers. Even your students will also be saver when they start earning. So we are all savers. But two things I want to tell about the saving, particularly to your young students. Shivakami ma'am, we do save, but we are casual about the saving.
Yes, we don't calculate actually.
Yeah, casual in the saving. This month I am saving 10,000. Next month it might be 12,000. Third year it might be 5,000. Fourth month it may even be 0. So first thing I want to tell, and with more emphasis I want to tell all the participants, particularly your students, kindly identify an amount of saving which you can comfortably do out of your income. And ma'am, I am not prescribing anything. You do 20% saving, 30%, 40%. This is not my intention. What I am saving is you yourself identify. Suppose Shivakami ma'am says that she is earning 50,000 a month and her monthly expenses are around 40,000. What she indirectly saying that she can save 10,000. Then my request is very simple but emphatic. Ma'am, you must save 10,000 upfront. The moment you get salary or income, take it away, as if you have not got it. That commitment that will have to be there. Of course, it is tough, but it is not impossible. It is tough, of course, but it is not impossible, my dear participants. And if you make this commitment that I will save this amount religiously every month, come what may, I can assure you, down the line after 15, 20 years, you will have least financial problem by doing this very basic and small thing in your life. So kindly identify an amount of saving and then religiously save that amount every month without fail. This is first request I want to make without saving. Second request is, again, very simple. Kindly keep increasing your saving minimum by 10% every year. And Shivakami ma'am, you will agree with me. Again, it is possible because we get increment, we get DA, we get allowances. Our income keep increasing every year.
Also so inflation, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, that I will take care afterward. So with the increase in income, we must try to save, to increase our saving minimum by 10% if possible. Because if you don't increase your saving, then inflation will eat everything, as ma'am is saying. She is absolutely right. So kindly try to increase your saving minimum by 10% every year. Suppose this year you are saving 10,000 a month. Next year it should be 11,000 a month. And third year it should be 12,100. Likewise, again I am telling you, it is not a tough, it is not a easy task, but it is not an impossible task. And ma'am, you will agree with me that if we want to get some bigger things, then we have to sacrifice something. We have to develop some discipline in our life. So second thing is kindly keep increasing saving every minimum by 10% every year. Now the next question arises, my dear participants, what we do with the savings which we do every month? What do we do? There are two options, my dear friends. One option which people like me will only do. What I am doing foolishly, I am saving every month. Whenever I get salary, but what I am nonsensely doing is, I am taking out the money, counting that money in cash and putting at home every month. Or just leaving that amount in my bank account. Never, never, never do this. It is a gross injustice to ourselves, to our family, and ma'am, to our country as a whole. Never do this practice. Naturally, then students might ask, then what to do? Yes, there is other option available with all of us. And the option is, kindly put your savings, number one, into acquisition or purchase of some assets, value of which will increase in future. Acquisition or purchase of some assets, value which will in future, and or put your savings into some financial instrument which will give us regular and periodical return. And ma'am, the process of putting our savings into acquisition of assets or in financial instrument, what we call it, my dear participants, we call it investment. It is investment. So saving is the first step, investment is the second step. So we have to save, but then we have necessarily to invest it. Because, my dear participants, prosperity will come only through investment, not through saving. Mind it. Of course, saving is the first step, but prosperity will come only through investment, because investment will create wealth for you, and wealth creation will generate prosperity for you. So kindly understand very carefully, saving is the first step, investment is the second step. First step is important, so is the second step. So kindly don't stop at first step. Go to the second step, second stage as well. Be an investor also. Be an investor after saving. And naturally, Shivakami ma'am, those who are earning are all investors also by default, because we are putting our money in other form somewhere. So we are all doing it. So we are all investors. But now the question I asked Shivakami ma'am, I don't know whether she will agree with me or not. Unfortunately, ma'am, most of the middle class, salary class person, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, they just remain money accumulators in their life. They don't become wealth creators. They just remain, and at top of it, Shivakami ma'am will not agree with me, I know. But unfortunately, most of the middle class person, they just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators.
We have not been tuned for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we haven't gone for that.
Very right, very right. But my dear participant, you must understand that prosperity will come only through wealth creation. Understand it very carefully. It will not come through money accumulation. So we should first understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And for that, again, ma'am, kindly permit me to take your name. I am just sharing one example to all the participants. Very simple example. And the example is of bank fixed deposit, bank FD. Why I am taking this example? Because your even students might be aware about the bank FD. Suppose Shivakami ma'am, sorry ma'am, I am taking again your name and again, because I want to interact through you only to all the participants. That's the only purpose.
No issue.
That's the only purpose. Don't take it that otherwise.
I'm honored, sir, actually.
The purpose is very simple, that through you only I am interacting with all the participants. So suppose Shivakami ma'am has got 1 lakh rupees with her. Of course, she has much more than, but just for example's sake, she has got 1 lakh rupees with her. And she goes for a bank FD for 1 year with a good bank. And ma'am, you know the present rate of interest on FD is around 6%. Around 6%. Take it 6%. You go for the bank FD for 1 year. After 1 year, when I meet you and just ask you, Matt, what happened to your FD? Ma'am is very happy. She is smiling. She says that she has earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest. Am I right, ma'am? Yes, that you have earned 6,000 as bank interest income, and she is happy. She ought to be happy, but no. When I say, ma'am, you are not right, ma'am might got annoyed. She said, what is wrong with you asking this question? I'm absolutely sure I earned 6,000 rupees as my bank interest income. Ma'am, you are right, but you are not right. Why? Because you unintentionally ignored 2 very important factors while analyzing return on your investment. And FD is also an investment for that purpose. The first factor which we normally ignore, but very important factor in our life, is inflation. We talk about inflation day in, day out. Even today morning when ma'am had left her home, she might have scolded children, but try to squeeze the expenses. Inflation is on. Every day we in the college and institution, ma'am, in our staff room, the hot discussion is inflation only. अरे बाबा महंगाई बहुत बढ़ रहा है, हर तरफ महंगाई. Everything we talk about this every day.
Rising prices.
Yeah. So what is inflation? First, we should understand. Simply speaking, my dear participants, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item, or services over a period of time. Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item, or services over a period of time. Now, suppose, ma'am, last year when you were going for bank FD, instead of going for bank FD, you could have option of purchasing any item or availing some services from 1 lakh rupees. Ma'am, just tell me, Would you be able to purchase or avail same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would it be possible?
No.
It will not be possible. Because of inflation, prices of those item, goods or services have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5% during this 1 year when you have FD. What does it simply means? Last year, whatever you could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees after 1 year for the same item, same goods or services, since the inflation rate has been 5%, you will need to pay not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, ma'am? Simply.
Yes, definitely.
So you will need to pay 1,05,000 rupees. Yes, you have said, okay, yes, you are comfortable, but now you see the proposition. You earn 6,000 rupees as bank interest, but in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. It is a fact of our life which we don't give credence to. We don't even consider these things while analyzing our return. So inflation has returned 5,000 out of 6,000. Still 1,000 is there. Ma'am is happy, still happy. Okay, no problem. Let the 5,000 go through inflation, but still I have got one. No, ma'am. One other factor is there, and that we are all aware. Most of the income and return government takes income tax, ma'am, or capital gain. Most. In the case of bank FD, my dear participant, you might not be aware, but the rules, income tax rules are very clear that whatever you earn as bank interest on FD, you are liable to pay as per income tax as per your slab. 10,000 exemption limit of bank interest, ma'am, not related to FD. It is related to SB account only, saving bank account only. So on FD, whatever you earn, you will have to pay income tax as per your slab. And suppose you are in 20% slab, then on 6,000, you will need to pay 20% income tax, that is 1,200. And now, ma'am, you can't avoid it. Earlier, honestly, in my time, nobody will pay such income. Arey Baba, who will come to my home to collect this income tax? Because income tax people, government was not aware. But now, because of technology, all such information is automatically available with them. Rest assured. So you can't avoid it now. So you will have to pay 1,200 rupees as income tax. Now you see the proposition, my dear participant. Shiva Kami ma'am was very happy when she earned 6,000 rupees. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and she has to pay 1,200 rupees as income tax. Did she get anything in reality? No. Rather, 200 rupees has got out of her pocket. She got nothing. And more unfortunately, Shiva Kami ma'am, most of the investment of middle class, salary class person are like this only, where we don't get any real return on our investment. The 6,000 was your notional return, my dear parts. Understand it very carefully. You got nothing. Suppose I take this example forward. Suppose the interest rate is 8%. What does it mean? That ma'am will get 8,000 as interest income. Again, keeping inflation 5%, out of 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation, remaining 3,000. Out of 3,000, she will need to pay 20% income tax, that is 1,600 on 8,000. But still remain 1,400, my dear participant. That 1,400 is her real return. So what I want to emphasize here, kindly ensure that you earn some real return on all your investments. If you don't earn real return, then you just become money accumulator, my dear friends. You can't be wealth creators. So the formula of real return is very simple. Note it down, students, particularly if they wish to note it down. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000 or 8,000, minus inflation, that is 5,000, minus tax liability, 1,200 or 1,600. In first scenario, there was no real return. In second scenario, there was a real return of 1,400. And my dear participant, mind it, only real return is going to create wealth for you. So our whole emphasis must be on earning some real return by factoring in inflation and tax liability. Understand it very carefully, that we must earn some real return, Vijay Rani ma'am, on all our investments. Our emphasis should be very clear. My mind now should be very clear that if I am not getting any real return on my investment, why I am saving? Let you enjoy the money you are saving, because this is not showing the serve the purpose for which you are saving and investing. So kindly minded, we have to earn real return. Now the ma'am had given me some hint. Now I'm coming to that point also. Why most of us are money accumulators? Vijayarani ma'am, can you tell me why we are? Why most of the middle class, salary class person are money accumulators? There is some reason. Yes, the reason is deep rooted in our mind. The reason is not outside somewhere else, ma'am. The reason lies in our mind. Most of the middle class, salary class person have got a typical mindset. Right or wrong, I'm not saying, but we have got a typical. But what is that mindset? Arey Baba, we don't want to take any risk in investment. No. When someone tells you that there is some risk in the investment, let it be close here only. We don't want to discuss. Even we don't want to discuss about the risk, because we are very clear we don't want to take risk. Yes, Shivakami ma'am, the time was different in our time, but now time is changing. And for students, I am encouraging all of them, kindly understand and appreciate very clearly, Vijayarani ma'am, that most of the investment have got risk. You have to accept it. Whether you accept it or not, unfortunately, most of the investments have got risk. Degree of risk might vary, Shivakami ma'am. In some product, there may be high degree of risk. In some product, there may be low risk, but risk is there in most of the investment. So kindly first accept that risk is there in the investment. Now, the second question, which is very natural, which will come in our mind, is once we accept that risk, is how we can manage our risk, how we can minimize our risk. Yes, definitely this question, Shivakami ma'am, will come in our mind. Then how we can, yes, my dear participants, I am sharing you a very simple two-word formula, Vijayarani ma'am, and to all the young participants particularly, I am sharing you a very simple two-word formula through which we can manage your risk, we can minimize your risk, but at the same time, Shivakami ma'am, I want to make it very clear that risk can never be zero. Some degree of risk will always be there. In some product, it might be higher. In some product, it might be moderate. In some product, it might be minimum, but risk will be there. So how we can manage it? Just two-word formula I am sharing with you. Note it down. Think, understand, and invest. Two words I have used, Vijayarani ma'am. Think, understand, and invest. The first word is think. What we have to think? We have to think two things about ourselves. The first thing we should think about ourselves is, what is my risk-taking capacity? What is my risk tolerance? And Shivakami ma'am, every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual. Because our income is different. Our family obligations are different. Our social structure is different. Our born and brought up, everything is different. So every individual has got different risk appetite, and he or she must take investment decision according to her or his investment or risk appetite only. But one thing, Shivakami ma'am, one blunder or one mistake we all do in our life. Most of us, we follow others while taking investment decision. One fine morning, Shivakami ma'am is filling some form in her room. Vijayarani ma'am comes to her and just asks her, ma'am, what you are doing? Ma'am says that one good product has come. I'm investing some of my money in that. Vijayarani ma'am knows it very well that Shivakami ma'am is a smart investor. So her decision might be a good one. So what she will request, ma'am, I have also got some surplus money. Can you arrange some form for me too? This is normal thing we all do, but it is a blunder. Why blunder? Because Shivakami ma'am has got different risk appetite and Vijayarani ma'am has got different one. So why she should follow Shivakami ma'am? Never. So kindly in future, never follow others with regard to investment decisions, because our risk appetite of individual is different. So here again, risk appetite is not a constant factor, ma'am, in our life. It keeps changing with the age. When we are young, I can take a risk because I have got longer period to go. So in younger age, my whole emphasis should be that I should focus on maximum real return, even by taking some risk. But that risk has to be calculated. It should not be blind one. But focus should be on getting maximum real return. But when the age advances, when I cross 50, my perception will totally change. And what I will think, no, Baba, I can compromise on the risk factor, on the return factor, but I can't compromise on the safety factor of the money which I have accumulated from 25 years to 55 years. So our thinking keep changing. So kindly take your investment decision according to your risk appetite. This is first request I want to make out for you. Second is, kindly look into the aspect of periodical investment, time horizon of investment. Because, ma'am, Shiva Kami, ma'am, we will need money in our life, not in one go, but at different intervals. So we should be very clear that we will need money not in one go in our life, but we will need money at different intervals. And that is called time horizon of investment. And for that, I will request all the participants, next Sunday, those who are already earning, like Vijay Rani ma'am, and even Shiva Kami ma'am, I can request if she can accede to my request. Next Sunday, kindly give me 1 hour. But rest assured, I am not coming to your home. What I am just requesting for 1 hour. Why? Because you request all your family members to be with you. Sit with all of them. Have a paper and pen and discuss with them what are the common milestones, what are the milestones which will be happening in our life. And ma'am, what are the common milestones in middle class, early class life, Mr. Dinesh Kumar? Normally speaking, the first milestone is marriage. Marriage is the first milestone. After that, birth of the children, that might be the second milestone. After that, purchase or acquisition of the house for the family, that is very natural. And after that, purchase of the 4-wheeler if we have not got so far. Then, Shiva Kami ma'am, vacation has now become also a very important milestone in our life. Every family wants to go on vacation. In my time, at least this milestone was not there. But now, wherever you are, your family will force you to go out of the state, go to other states as well, go to beyond country as well. So vacation is also become very milestone. Then after some years, your children are grown up. Then what will happen? You will definitely like to get best professional and higher education for your children. It is very natural. So higher education and professional education of children is again very important thing. Once education is over, then what is next one? Marriage of the children is the next milestone. And last milestone, Shiva Kami ma'am, is or retirement life. Because we get retired. And I don't think your institution will give you pension like that benefit in your life. So how we will survive in our retirement life? Normally what we do, those who don't have pension, but normally what they do, they accumulate huge amount for their retirement life, put that money into some investment, get the regular income and they survive. This is the normal course of living your retirement life. So in the first column, kindly put all the milestones in your life. In the second column, put the period when they are likely to happen. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, 20 year, 50, whatever, 30 year, whatever it may be. In the third column, put the money against each milestone which you will need for each milestone. And 2 milestones I am specifically mentioning here. Higher education of the children, ma'am. Ma'am, you are aware that today a normal MBA degree from a good institution will cost not around 20 lakhs. Am I right, ma'am? Yes. Around 20 lakhs, normally. Can you imagine, ma'am, a person who is having children of 1 year or 2 year age, or who is not yet married, after 25 years when he or she will go for higher education of children, how much money they will need for each child higher education. Can you imagine? Today it is 20 lakhs MBA degree, ma'am. After 25 years, same degree will cost not less than 2 crore rupees because of inflation. Not less than 2 crore rupees per child. And if you have 2 child, then it will be not less than 4 crore rupees for the higher education of children. And last thing, ma'am, retirement plan. That is also very important. Suppose today, ma'am, you say that your monthly expenses are around 30,000 and your age is 30. Just take it, your age is 30 and you say my monthly expenses are around 30,000. Ma'am, can you imagine when you become 60 after 30 years, how much money you will need every month for your same standard of living? Have you ever imagined, ma'am? It will be not less than 2 lakh rupees per month. Today, your monthly expenses are 30,000 at the age of 30. After 30 years, when you become 60, you are the same monthly expenses, same level of comfort. You will need not less than 2 lakh rupees. So how much you will need at the age of 60 for 1 year? 2 lakh multiplied by 12, it will 24 lakhs annually you will need. So you will earn a reasonable return of around 25 lakhs on your retirement corpus. So how much corpus should be, ma'am? A thumb rule is there. I am giving you a thumb rule. The retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Minimum 20 times. And your annual expenses at the age of 60, ma'am, would be around 25 lakhs. So how much it should be retirement corpus? Multiply 25 lakhs by 20, 5 crore rupees. So every person who is around 30 today should have retirement corpus of not less than 5 crore rupees to live a life comfortably. Because, ma'am, you will agree with me, nobody will like to depend on children. Of course, children might be very supportive, but we will definitely like to live independently without the help of children. Rather, we will try to help them out. This is a normal thinking of human beings. So the chart which we have just prepared, what we call it, my dear participant, this chart is called financial plan. And ma'am, I will urge all your participants, young participants, particularly those who are faculty members who are young, kindly develop a financial plan of your family. And again, it is not a rocket science, ma'am. We all can have financial plan by the exercise which we have just undertaken at home. And once financial plan in purpose, ma'am, the main purpose it will serve is that it will give us direction to save an investment and to have money when we need it. So my dear participants, kindly have financial plan. This is my most important request to all of you. One more thing I want to mention here, ma'am, is rule of compounding. And Shivakami, ma'am, rule of compounding is 8th wonder of the world. It is 8th wonder of the world. 8th wonder of the world simply means, what is rule of compounding? Simply speaking, ma'am, rule of compounding, I don't want to make it complex. I want to put it very simple. You have to make a promise with yourself, my dear participants, that whenever and whatever return or income I earn on my investment, I will never use that return or income for my personal purposes. What I will do, I will simply take away that return or income and club it with my regular investment and reinvest it. That promise you have to make it yourself. Again, my dear participant, it is not easy, but not impossible. You can do it. But if you do it, then I can assure you down the line after 15, 20 years, Shivakami ma'am, the people will be happily surprised that their return portion has become much greater than their original investment. But ma'am, it will happen not today, not tomorrow, but after 15, 20 years. So kindly religiously follow rule of compounding in your investments. So far what we have discussed, my dear participants, first we discuss, I again recapitulate for 1 minute, ma'am. First we discuss about the security aspect. 3 things we discussed. adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Then we discuss about the identify amount of saving and then religiously doing it. Then we discuss about increasing saving every year minimum by 10%. Then putting saving into investment mode. Then focusing on earning real return on our investments. Then managing our risk by thinking and understanding. Then financial plan. Every family must have financial plan. And lastly, we discuss about the rule of compounding. That is most important thing. This was the first segment of my session. Next section will be hardly 10-15 minutes, ma'am. Then we will finish it off. Now we will discuss what are the options available for the middle class, salary class person to invest. That is equally important because we should know where to invest. The first segment of investment options available for middle class, salary class person, ma'am, is governmental small saving schemes. Government of India has got a good number of small saving schemes where we can invest. And the first and foremost, Shivakami ma'am, I don't know whether you have opened that account in that scheme or not, but if you have not, you have missed something, kindly do it. The first scheme is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. Very good scheme of the Government of India. It is for 15 years and exempt, no tax. Minimum amount you can invest it 500 rupees a month. Maximum amount you can invest it 1.5 per month. The scheme is for 15 years, but it can be extendable for 5-year period. And I will urge all of you kindly open the account PPF, continue it not be within 15 years, but beyond it. You should not stop this account till you need money. The first scheme is Public Provident Fund Account. Second one is National Saving Certificate, NSC. I don't have time, so I will just mention the name. You can go into the detail through your Google and websites. Third one is Kisan Vikas Patra. And fourth one, ma'am, those who are having girl child at home and whose age is below 10 years, ma'am. Very good scheme for the girl child education and marriages. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Sukanya Samriddhi, very good scheme of the Government of India, where government is still giving 7.60% interest, which no other government is giving, which no other government scheme is giving. Maximum interest on Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, because it is basically for the welfare of girl child. Then is Governmental Securities, where we can invest. Shivakami ma'am, you might be aware, government also keep raising loan from the public through sale of government securities. And for that channel, RBI has recently launched a new website. Name of the website is RBI Retail Direct. RBI Retail Direct. You can invest, you can register yourself as an investor there and then keep investing a small amount regularly in that scheme. Then RBI also keep issuing taxable and tax-free bonds, where we can in this scheme, all a scheme I am just mentioning. Then lastly, government has started a new channel of raising loan by the government undertakings. That is called Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2, where we can also, all these schemes which I have just mentioned, my dear sir, we will discuss afterwards. All these schemes which we have just discussed, ma'am, is governmental saving scheme firstly. And the beauty and uniqueness of this scheme, ma'am, is there is no risk at all. Whatever government promises us, government will give us. When the scheme mature, government will give us money back. So there is no risk. And Shivakami ma'am, I personally feel that a normal middle class, salary class person should invest 15 to 20% of their total investment into governmental saving scheme. Because return might not be extraordinary. Return might be reasonable, but at the same time, we are taking care of our risk, because it is risk-free investment. But all other options, my dear participants, have got risk, kindly minded. All other participants have got risk now. Second option, Shivakami ma'am, where we can invest is property or real estate, where we can invest. But again, it has got risk. How much return you will get, not certain. Would you be able to sell the property when you need the money? Not certain. And for real estate, ma'am, you might be aware, we normally need huge amount to invest, only then we can go for real estate. So second thing is real estate, where how much you want to invest, I'm leaving it to you. I'm not prescribing anything. Third option, ma'am, and when I start third option, at least Shivakami ma'am will have a smile on her face. That is gold. Investment in gold. And when I started speaking about gold, all my female participants have a different smile on their faces. It is very natural, because centuries together, ma'am, gold has been a safety valve for the middle class, salary class person. Ma'am, you might be aware that we give gold to a daughter at marriage. Why? What is the logic? What is the reason? Because we feel that in case of some financial stress in her family in future, at least they would be able to sell the gold or mortgage that and come out of that stress. That is the purpose of giving gold. But historically, ma'am, we have been investing in gold only through in physical form only, purchasing jewelry, purchasing biscuits. But nowadays, ma'am, the digital gold we can also invest in gold through digital form. And for that, my dear participants, kindly note it down. And even students, they should go and tell their parents today. A very good scheme of the Government of India, ma'am, I'm not talking of any private scheme. Very good scheme of the Government of India is on nowadays. That name is Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. It is a very good scheme of the Government of India, Shivakami ma'am, where government is giving you 2.5% annual return, guaranteed return. Plus, they will also share with you the appreciation of the gold. Suppose that today gold price is 52,000 and the scheme is for 8 years, ma'am. Suppose after 8 years, gold price is 80,000. In that scenario, 28,000 will also be given to you. So there are two benefits. One is the 2.5% assured guaranteed return. And additionally, the appreciation in the prices of gold will also be given to you. And the scheme is for 8 years, ma'am. Minimum amount you can invest is 1 gram gold price. Maximum you can invest is 4 kg gold price. You can invest, the scheme is for 8 years. And if you continue with the scheme for 8 years, ma'am, then tax liability will be literally zero. No tax liability will be there. And the scheme is available online and offline both, ma'am. If you go on online, then government is giving you additional benefit of 50 rupees discount. That is also available, but that is only on online mode. So kindly consider this. And apart from that, in mutual fund also ETF, exchange traded fund, gold funds are there. So you can invest in gold through digital form also. And I personally feel, ma'am, that a middle class, salary class person should invest around 5 to 7% of their investment in gold. Last option available for all of us is share bazaar, securities market. And ma'am, when I start talking about security market, a message may come from the chat box. Arey sir, don't talk about security market. We don't know how market goes up, how market goes down. It is sheer speculation. People, people normally are scary about investing into share market, and they are right, ma'am. Shivakami ma'am, because security market is a purely knowledge-based market. Those who don't have knowledge of the market must not invest into the security market directly. This is my personal opinion. Because it is purely a knowledge-based market, and those who do have knowledge still be very cautious to invest in the security market directly. And Shivakashi ma'am, next time if you wish, we can have a technical session on security market. for your students, because that will be a 2-hour session. We will take it separately. Next time, if you are interested, we can have a technical session for your students on security market. So there is an indirect way of investing into security market as well, and that is mutual fund, through which we are indirectly investing into security market, not directly. So first we should let us understand what is mutual fund. My dear participant, mutual fund is nothing but a proposition through which we are giving our savings to the experts. We are not directly investing it. We are giving it to the experts. Why we are giving, Shivakami ma'am? Because normally we feel that the experts have got better knowledge of the market. They have got experience in the market. They live in the market. We don't have knowledge. That is why their investment decision will relatively be much better and beneficial as us. That is why we are giving our money to them to invest into the security market. But the proposition is very clear, Shivakami ma'am. It is not a social service. It is purely a proposition where we are giving our money to the experts to invest as per identified scheme, generate maximum return for us and give us back as return. That is the proposition. The beauty of the mutual fund is, Shivakami ma'am, in mutual fund, there are schemes as per the need of every investor. Suppose, Shivakami ma'am, there are investors who can take much risk. Schemes are available in mutual fund. And there are investors who don't want to take high risk but moderate risk. Then other schemes are available in the mutual fund. Then, ma'am, there are investors who don't want to who want to take very least risk, minimum risk. Schemes are available for them too in the mutual fund. Likewise, if you want to invest for one day, if you want to invest even for one day, mutual fund schemes are available. That is called overnight funds. If you want to invest for 1 month or 2 months, schemes are available that are called liquid fund. If you want to invest for 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, then short-term debt funds are available. But if you want to invest for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, then long-term debt funds and equity funds are available. So for all category of investors, according to their risk appetite, according to their time horizon of investment, mutual fund schemes are available. Secondly, mutual fund is our most transparent product, as Mr. Parekh has also mentioned. Ma'am, with every scheme, one riskometer is attached. That riskometer will give you a broad idea how much risk is there in the scheme. So you can make out from the riskometer itself how much risk is there, and then you can evaluate your risk with the risk of the scheme. And if it suits you, only then you should consider investing it. Then in mutual fund, there are 3 categories, my dear friends. Broadly, 3 categories mutual fund schemes are there. One is equity fund. In equity fund, understand it very carefully. Your savings will be invested into the equity shares of the companies. And Shivakami ma'am, when your money is invested into the equity share of the company, you are taking high risk. Mind it. So in equity fund, you should invest only when you are in a position to take high risk. And the other category is debt fund. In debt fund, your money will not be invested into the equity share of the company. Mind it. Your money will be given as a loan to the corporates as debt. So here the risk is lesser, but the return may be reasonable. In equity fund, risk is higher. So the reward may also be higher, but there is no guarantee of reward. Kindly mind it. There is no guarantee. But potentiality of getting high return is there in equity fund. And the third category is hybrid fund. In hybrid fund, some of your money will go to the equity fund and some portion of money will go to the debt fund. So you are taking both advantage. You are investing, some of our money will go into the equity fund. You are taking some risk with the hope of getting high return. But other portion of your money, you are investing in debt fund where you are managing your risk with reasonable return. So these three broad categories according to your choice and selection. There are two plans in the mutual fund, ma'am. One is direct plan and other one is regular plan. In direct plan, you are visiting the website of the mutual fund directly and giving directly and giving your giving all information online, selecting the scheme, and you are invested. So in direct plan, there is no third party between you and the mutual fund. The other option is regular plan. In regular plan, you need to take the services of the mutual fund agent, which is technically called distributors. They will come to your place with the form of the scheme you have selected. Kindly never give them the authority of selecting the scheme. Mind it, ma'am, but there might be mis-selling in that scenario. So select the scheme on your own. Take your time and select the scheme, and then tell him, come with the form of that scheme. They will come to you. They will get you fill the form. They will take document from you. They will put your documents in the mutual fund company, and your investment will be started. So in regular plan, return will always be lower because some fee or commission will go to the mutual fund distributor. In direct plan, return will always be higher as compared to regular plan. The best option available for the middle, my dear participant, now I want your special attention now, all of you. The magic of the mutual fund for the middle class, salary class person, Shiva Kami ma'am, is through investing through SIP, systematic investment plan. It's a magic for the middle class, salary class person. SIP is nothing but what we are opting here is we are regularly investing some amount, regularly. And over a period of time, it becomes a good corpus or rather a huge corpus sometime if you invest for the long period. So SIP is nothing but regular investment of some amount. Minimum amount, ma'am, you can invest through SIP each 500 rupees. Even some cases, even 100 rupees. Or maximum amount, there is no limit. And my dear participants, I will urge even your students, ma'am, to start an SIP of 500 rupees out of your pocket money. Because 2-3 years down the line, when you start earning, that by that time you will have fair idea how the mutual fund and SIP works. So kindly start an SIP of 500 rupees out of your pocket money. This is for a student. And those who are already earning can start SIP for more than amount. And one factual example, Shiva Kami ma'am, I want to share with all of you. Of course, I will not name the scheme. I will not name the mutual fund company because that will be unfair on my part and that will be marketing. But facts are there. And my dear participant, kindly understand these facts very carefully. One equity, Shiva Kami ma'am, one equity fund was started by a mutual fund company in 1995. Kindly note down the dates. One equity fund scheme was started by a mutual fund company in 1995, Mr. Shiva. And a smart investor like Shiva Kami ma'am started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month in that scheme, which means regularly she has been investing 10,000 rupees per month from 1995 till March. Every month she is investing. Every month she is investing. And during this period, Shiva Kami ma'am, market might have gone up, market might have gone down, but she never relented. She never missed a single SIP. Continuously she invested. Because typically what happens, my dear friends, most of the time, Shiva Kami ma'am, people start investing when market goes up. And people stop investing when market goes down. Arey Baba, I might lose your money, but never do this. Once you start your SIP, never stop your SIP because market will always come and go and down. This is the basic character of the market, my dear participant. Market will always go up and down. Today market is 52. 10-15 days back market was at 62. Before that market went down to 30,000 in 2020 March. Shiva Kami ma'am, you might remember. So market will always go up and down, but never disturb your SIP. Continue investing it. So what Shiva Kami ma'am is, she continually stated or start investing through SIP in that fund right from 1995 till March. Ma'am, can you imagine how much money has become today? Can you imagine? It has become 9.57 crore. 10,000 rupees SIP from 1995 to 2020 every month has given a corpus of 9.57 crore. Is it a bad proposition, ma'am? But 2-3 things I have again repeated. Never stop your SIP. Rather, you can continue increasing your SIP. Top-up facilities now available. Suppose you started SIP with 5,000 rupees. Then next year it may be 7,000 rupees. Third year it might be 10,000 rupees. But you can increase that SIP. And nowadays, ma'am, I know a lot of my people, lot of my friends like you, who have more than one SIP. And that is target-oriented SIP. One SIP for going vacation. One SIP for purchasing house. One SIP for higher education of children happening after 25 years. Other SIP might be for retirement plans, which is happening after 25-30 years. So you can have multiple SIPs as per your target. And now on websites, my dear participant, SIP calculators are available. Shivakami ma'am, suppose you say that I will need 4 crore rupees for my children education after 25 years. So you put the period 25 years to put the target 4 crore. SIP calculator will give you broad idea how much SIP you should start today. So SIP is a magic for middle class, salary class person. But it will be more beneficial for over a longer period of time, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. That magic will unfold only when you continue for longer period. Other facility in mutual fund is, ma'am, SWP. I have just talked about SIP. SIP is systematic investment plan. Now I am talking about the SWP. SWP is opposite of SIP, ma'am. In SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. We are systematically, regularly withdrawing money from our corpus, which we have developed over a period of time. And ma'am, this is basically meant for your retirement life. Suppose for your retirement life, you have developed a corpus of 5 crore rupees. And now you are going to retire. You don't have pension. Naturally, you will need money every month. What to do? You simply write one line mail to the mutual fund company where you have your corpus. Next month onwards, kindly keep transferring 2 lakh rupees per month from my corpus to my bank account on first. Maybe 2 lakh, maybe 1 lakh, maybe 5 lakhs, that you decide. They will religiously transfer that amount from your corpus to your bank account. So what will be the first benefit, Shiva sir? You will get 2 lakh rupees or whatever you want at the start of the month as if you are getting salary. So there will be no financial problem at all. I will continue to enjoy my retirement life even without any hassle. Second benefit will be your remaining corpus with them is continually investing, which you are earning regularly return also. So there are twin benefits of developing retirement corpus. One, you can get a regular amount in your bank account on the first of every month. Then remaining amount will continue to earn interest or return for you, which will take care of your inflation in future years. So it is mutual fund can't be covered in 15-20 minutes. Shiva Kami ma'am. Next time, if your students or faculty members are interested, we can have a dedicated session on mutual fund that will be for around 2 hours.
Sure, sir.
Then we can exhaustively discuss about all aspects of the mutual fund. Last two things I want to request all the participants, and that through Shiva Kami ma'am. Ma'am, have you heard about CSR?
Yes, sir.
What is CSR?
Corporate social responsibility.
Okay. Have you heard about ISR?
Institutional, I hope so.
No, ma'am. Individual personal, we have also got some social, we individuals have also got some social responsibility. And I am giving you this ISR to all of you. What is that, ma'am? There is a menace in our country. Lot of Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees are flourishing in our country. People do come with promise of higher return, doubling your money in 3-4 years. It will never happen, we all know. They will simply come and take vanish after some time, taking your money away. And normally, you people don't invest, those who are educated. Normally, who invests in those schemes, ma'am? Those who are not so educated. You are maid servant, you are driver, you are peon, you are taxi driver, you are milk vendor, you are grocery shop owner. So kind ma'am, I will request all of you, particularly you and your HOD sir, kindly start a campaign through your students across your area to educate as much people as you can for never investing in their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, cheat fund and committees. And if they don't have any idea about investment, ma'am, better they should put your money in bank and post office. At least their money will be safe. So kindly start this campaign. I will be very grateful. It is your social responsibility for all of us. And last thing I want to tell to all the participants through Mr. Shiva Shankar. Mr. Shiva Shankar, can you open your video and unmute yourself? Mr. Shiva Shankar. Through Shiva Shankar, I want to tell everybody one very small thing, ma'am. Shiva Kami, ma'am.
Yes.
My dear Shiva sir.
Yeah, he's online.
Prosperity is your right. Mr. Shiva is saying to all of you, prosperity is your right. We might have born into a poor family, ma'am. It is not a curse. Incidentally, we might have born into a poor family, but we must not live as poor and we must not die as poor. And that is absolutely possible, my dear participants, if we start working seriously right from the day when we start earning about our savings and investment. And I think if you get some this session interesting, then I will request all of you kindly consider about your money, about your saving, about your prosperity in a most structured manner. We all can be prosper. This is my message to all of you. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. It's such a wonderful and excellent session. Actually, we never expected such an valuable information insights. Even if you just look at the chat box, it's just overflowing with the messages, the feedback. So really, we are amazed to have you today, sir.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And now I would be very happy to have a question from the participant, Mrs. Sabjar. Kindly unmute Mr. Shibahullah.
Yes, sir. We have a few questions in the chat box also. So maybe if the participant, you can unmute yourself and you can ask.
Yeah.
Then we can just look for questions in the chat box.
Any participant who has question, just raise their hand. We will unmute him or her.
Shall I read the questions from the chat box, sir?
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Yeah. So this question is from Dr. K. Jayachandra Reddy. What will be the effect of Russia and Ukraine war on stock market? How long will it continue?
Pretty uncertain. Very honestly speaking, pretty uncertain.
Yes.
How long war goes on? It will all depend upon the duration of the war. It will have a lot of repercussions, but my dear, unless and until it goes beyond hands of even Russia, if some war escalates, it becomes a world war, then everything will be finished, very honestly speaking.
Yes.
But sanity will remain. I think sanity will prevail over all of the stakeholders in this war, and this war will stop very soon. And if it will stop, then the effect will be marginal and temporary. It may be for next 6 months or so, but again, depending on the duration of the war.
Yes, and a similar question is from Akalya also. The same question they have asked. And the next question is from Vinay Bala. The tax benefits I can get while investing through mutual funds. Are there any special funds where I can invest to avail tax benefits?
Yeah. Tax benefit you get in mutual fund. There is a ELS scheme in which you spend up to 1.50 lakhs. You get the benefit of tax exemption under Section 80C. But in that scenario, your money will be blocked for 3 years. You can't withdraw money for 3 years. So ELS schemes are there. And for other mutual fund schemes, debt fund is a more suitable scheme. in which if you continue remain invested for more than 3 years, then the benefit of indexation will be available to you. These are technical things which I will cover in the next mutual fund session when Madam gives us opportunity.
Definitely, sir. So the next question is from Ms. Benazir Meena. In which website can we buy the gold sovereign bonds?
All bank websites, RBI websites.
Wherever you have account, definitely the bank.
Exactly. Better you should open the account of sovereign gold fund in which the bank branch where you have account, because that will be more convenient. And the same thing goes with the PPF also, public provident fund account. Yes. Better you should open PPF account in the same branch where you are having your savings account.
So here regarding PPF, there is always a debate whether a post office PPF or a bank PPF, which is beneficial or that sort of discussion. Yes, sir.
No debate at all. It is one and same thing. It is Government of India scheme being operated by post office or bank.
Different channels.
So no difference at all. Whether you open with the post office or bank, one and same thing. So there is no scope of debate. There is no confusion at all. Wherever you want, you open it, but please open it. Ma'am, typically what happens, we Indians have a different tendency. We talk too much, we listen too much, we advise too much, but we don't act. My urge to all the participants, kindly act on the better things which you feel. I'm not saying you do this PPF. I'm not saying you invest in mutual fund. But if you feel, then you start investing because that is the crux of your success. One more thing I want to tell to all the participants. There are hundreds of good websites available on which a lot of material on investment is there. But just for the sake of clarity, I will just share 3-4 names. One is AMFI website, AMFI, AMFI website, only a lot of material on mutual funds. Mutual fund sahi hai. That a dedicated website is there. Kindly go through that website. Lot of material is available. Then SEBI website. SEBI investor website, very good website where you can visit and see that. And third one is, of course, private one, but these are good one. I'm not marketing them, but better you. Third one is value research. Value research. Fourth one is money control. Fifth one is ET money. Economic Times money, and lot of other hundreds of websites are there where lot of ET money, Economic Times money, ET money. Lot of hundreds of other websites are there. Kindly devote some time. Shiva Kami ma'am, typically what happens, people want ready-made answers, which is not.
It's a fast food
because you should devote your time because it is your money. Basically, it is your money, so you should devote your time and get yourself abreast and equipped to take better investment decisions. Any other question from any participant?
Yeah, that's it, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being patient and answering to all the queries. Over to Harishmita.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your thought-provoking words of wisdom. Thanks for sharing your knowledge on the topic personal finance support and wealth creation for startups, Suryakant sir. The entire session was really super informative. Now, vote of thanks. Gratitude makes sense of your past, brings peace of today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Now, I invite Dr. S. Vijayarani ma'am, Associate Professor, MBA SRM IST, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry for the inconvenience because of my microphone is not in use. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Harishmita. Respected chief guest, head of the department, faculty, and my dear participants. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm honored and lucky to have the opportunity to give the vote of thanks for this international webinar in collaboration with Association of Mutual Fund India. On behalf of College of Management, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus, I extend my heartful thanks to all the dignitaries. I sincerely thank our guest speaker, Sri Viral Parekh, for kindly accepting our invitation and address the students. We are all inspired by your great words, sir. I wish to express my gratitude to our chief guest, Sri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, for kindly accepting our invitation and deliver keynote address and give useful information related to saving schemes. I'm thankful to all the participants, and I'm sure that the participants will be benefited by attending this international webinar. I'm also very grateful to our Head of Department, Dr. R. Arulmozhi, for his continuous guidance and support. And I also extend my sincere thanks to Dr. V. Shivagami ma'am, convener of this event, and all the faculty members for their cooperation in the organization of this event. Once again, I thank you all, and we wish very all the best to all the participants. And also I thank both guest of speaker and chief guest for their valuable contribution for this event. Thank you so much, sir.
Ma'am, on my behalf and on behalf of AMFI, I am thankful to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
For giving us opportunity to interact with your students and your faculty members.
Definitely, sir. We'll meet
Definitely,
yet
sir.
in another session, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I will be very happy to come to your college physically as well as when this pandemic goes. And in intervening period, we can have more session,
Yes.
technical sessions on security market, mutual fund, or other related topics. So thank you very much to you, Shivakami ma'am, to your team, and all the participants. And special thanks to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed, who has coordinated with you for this program.
Definitely, he's
Thank you
done a
very much.
wonderful job,
Thank you.
actually.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
My
Thank you.
special thanks
Thank-
to Mr. Sabzar.
Sabjar.
Thank you.
God bless you all. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir.